Boom! Welcome to my first whiteboard video, and here we're going to talk about how letting go of control and following the flow leads to more happiness, more presence, more joy. And to give you an example, I want you to think about the last time you were on a holiday, you were traveling, and I'm certain that you felt amazing, you felt the most present, you felt as if your problems stopped existing, and that is basically you dropped attachment from all of your past. So imagine that your brain has something called RAM, which is something that computers have. When you go on a different location, when you're traveling on a holiday, first of all, you have no work, you have no responsibilities, and because you have new environment, new information coming through, basically new input, because you have a limited amount of space inside your mind, the old stuff, which is the bullshit problems and negativity that you have, basically goes into the background, and because of that you feel amazing, present, fulfilled, grateful. And in my opinion, we can actually be in that state 24/7, but the problem is our mind, our unconscious mind, gets attached to all these bullshit stuff, and because of that we basically block that feeling of creativity, of joy, of bliss. So in this video, to help us understand this, I've represented, so imagine that this is a river and you're going along the flow of the river, and this is obviously you in a boat, and I'm amazing at drawing. And to represent like the paddles, one of them is your actions and the second one is your thoughts, basically what you can control. And on another level you can also control your awareness, which is yourself. So imagine when you went on that holiday, you were free of all of your past, of no limitations. But when you go back to your daily life, work, or your business, your brain immediately gets flooded with all of that, with your past, with your beliefs, self-image, what society tells you you need to do, and what you've made yourself believe that you need to do. So in a way, let's say that when you were on that holiday, you are totally free, and not only does your brain has RAM, we have limited amount of energy. So if you on the holiday you had like 100 or close to 100% of your energy, when you go back to your normal life, or when you're faced with an obstacle, that lowers your energy significantly, and because of that you stop feeling creative, you stop feeling happy, and instead you start feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, and all those negative emotions and states. So to basically, I also want you to think about a key major event in your life when you did something which was illogical. So perhaps you, instead of doing what was obvious and what you should have done, you did the opposite, which was something that your sixth sense, your intuition was telling you to do. And after you made that decision, life became amazing again. Like for me, I have many examples like that. Every time I listen to my intuition and my sixth sense, I stop feeling negativity and I go onto a new, better reality. So that's what I mean in a way by going with the flow, but it's more complex than that, but it's also simple. So by attachment, I mean, so let's say this is the present moment. You're in the river and you're not on a holiday, you're stuck in your daily routine. And because of that, you are attached to all of these things. So your circle, the 5 people you spend the most time with, society, meaning your parents, your teachers, your friends, your old friends. These are all a part of your self-image identity, even if you don't consciously are aware of it. And basically everything from your past shapes your perception of reality, and in that way you see the future through that lens of the past. So when you are attached to dysfunctional things, so to give you an example, some dysfunctional things for myself, so limiting beliefs. I have limiting beliefs that, oh, I'm not good at sales. Because of that, I try to do more easy things rather than do cold calling, which I'm doing at the moment. So I'm defeating that limiting belief. Things about your self-image identity. Oh, I'm not good at talking to girls. I'm not good at talking with new people. I'm introverted. I'm extroverted. These are all limitations that you impose on yourself. So in a way, if you accept that identity for yourself, you basically block anything new to happen. So let's say that you're 50 years old and you suddenly realize that you hate your job and you want to start a better business or change your life completely. But because you're 50 years old, you're attached to your past and all your memories, all your beliefs, all your experiences, and what society has conditioned you to believe. In your mind, you'll be like, oh, I'm 50 years old. If I start a business, there's no time. And the pressure that you have, and that pressure is actually an illusion, but the pressure that you feel is going to be so big on yourself that you will basically won't even see the possibility that is beyond that belief, meaning you basically put a box on yourself and you limit yourself to not be able to get outside of that box, if that makes sense. So to put it all together, this is again the present moment, and this is representing the past, where you come from. So going forward, you have basically infinite amount of decisions and choices, and if you remain unconscious and attached to dysfunctional things, so as the example I gave, if you feel you're too young or too old to do something, that is dysfunctional, because if you feel like you need to do it, just do it. Because every time you get attached to these dysfunctional pendulums, instead of just taking action and going forward and progressing, getting better every single day and getting closer to our vision, to our goals, when we get attached, hooked into these labels, beliefs, because we have a limited amount of energy, we basically start wasting it into these thoughts, which end up being days, months, that you think about why you can't do something, why you shouldn't do something, instead of just detaching from it, like seeing it for what it is objectively, and deciding, okay, society is afraid to do it at this age or whatever example, but I feel drawn to do it. My sixth sense is telling me that this is something I'm excited about, and just change your relationship towards that belief. So when you're attached in a dysfunctional way, because we're attached to everything, when you're attached in a dysfunctional way, the way I visualize it is basically it creates a friction between you, the future, and that dysfunctional thing. So you are being like stopped from going forward into the best way possible. So by changing your perception, your relationship towards it, you can eliminate that friction, and in a way unhook yourself, so you can then go with the flow and reach your vision without wasting energy and time and focus on these bullshit things. And to give you another example, like me, I came to the UK to study engineering, and to be fully honest, I was unconsciously attached to the idea of going to university in abroad and even picking engineering, because I was conditioned during my past from my teachers, parents, friends, and just the whole society and how things were in Bulgaria. So I came to the UK, and immediately, because I was the friction between this and what I actually wanted was like opposite sides. So I was attached and I was doing something that wasn't my excitement, and because of that I ended up with like 2-3 years of feeling depressed. But the moment with time I realized, oh, this is not helping me, this is draining my energy, I'm procrastinating every day. With time I started experimenting with new stuff, so I was figuring out my vision and my why, and testing different things, seeing what I like and what I don't. And then one day, literally from one day to the next, when I made the decision to drop out, like, this is crazy how real this is. If my energy was at that time when I was still in university, if it was like at 40%, because every day I was oversleeping, I even got fat, I wasn't going out of the house, like I was in an unconscious low vibration, low state. So all my thoughts were mostly, oh, I hate this, so I was feeling that dysfunction even more. So instead of progressing forward and making actual progress, I ended up in a loop, negative road, which basically, from one perspective, I wasted a lot of time, but I wouldn't change anything. So that day that I made that final decision to drop out, literally from 40% motivation, inspiration, energy, creativity, like I went to 80-90%. Like I saw myself with things that I didn't even know I possessed. Like I felt amazing. So different things that we attach to, we give different meanings and different amount of energy to, but that example for me was crucial. And the moment I let go of university and going back to letting go of control, in order to let go of a dysfunctional belief, you first need to let go of control, meaning you need to detach from it. And that is again by lowering the friction. And like literally after I dropped out of university, things started to happen. I started making money, I started feeling happy, like every single day. I started having more ideas, opportunities, then moved to London. Then I basically started following the flow. Like I started to be in tune with my intuition and my sixth sense, and actually listen to it. So yeah, I want you to reflect on this in your life. What are you overly attached to that is not making you happy, and that you didn't even consciously choose? So society beliefs are massive because none of us actually chose them. Like, I'm too old, I'm too young to be successful, I don't have experience. Just listen to your own intuition, your highest excitement, and just follow it if it feels right. So to wrap up this first part, so yeah, in the present moment, what you can do is basically you can reach that state when you're on a holiday and you're feeling bliss, and like I feel, not even kidding, even though my situation at the moment is not ideal financially and freedom wise, I'm still grateful that I'm going to almost every single day to new cafes and working from my laptop, working online. And I've detached from all the dysfunctional stuff that wasn't making me happy. And now, basically, I'm still attached, but I'm attached to positive things that I know are right for me, which is going to new cafes every single day, traveling. I enjoy traveling in London, and people in the buses and the metros are unhappy, but because they're attached to the belief that you shouldn't be, that everyone is unhappy on the while commuting to work, but that's another topic. So and so yeah, I'm grateful that I'm commuting to work, and I literally feel bliss, like bliss. That's like my highest emotion every single day, and because of that, I have higher creativity. And this one attachment that I have, that this video that I'm doing right now represents me being now detached from it, was I was too overly attached to some aspects of my childhood and my teen years, and to the people I was friends with at that time. So in a way, I was attached to, or if I share this, someone will think I'm crazy, but I eliminated the friction. I observed the the belief and the story from above with my awareness, and I let go of that belief. I detached, and now I am aligning my actions and my thoughts in the direction where my intuition tells me that I need to go, which is, I have so many ideas like this and concepts and things that I'm constantly thinking about, that it wants to come out of me. And before this video, before you're watching this, I was afraid to share my true self. So I was not following the flow. I was diverted in the direction where I was attached to not my true self, and that was draining my energy. And now doing this, like, I'm in flow. I don't even have a script. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's flowing, and yeah, this will help me to detach from dysfunctional beliefs and stuff from my identity, and to align my true self with who I am publicly and privately. So to wrap it up, follow the flow by letting go of control and detaching. When you're attached to dysfunctional things, you're not going towards your vision in the least energy, in the most energy efficient way. Also, because you're attached to these things, you're wasting thought, energy, focus. So your energy is lowering. You're also filling up your RAM, your mental space, with bullshit. So there's no space for that bliss when you're on a holiday to come true. Because when you are surrounded by new environment and novelty and just no responsibilities, that thing floods your mind and frees space to the old stuff to come out and new stuff to come in. So your energy is fucked if you attach to dysfunctional stuff. And because the way you see reality is through a lens of the past, like what happened yesterday, what happened the last 1 year, 5 years, 20 years, you see reality through that lens, through your beliefs, through your perception. And if you attach to the wrong things, you will limit yourself from possibilities that are literally in front of you, and you literally box yourself. So in a way, if you're attached to dysfunctional things, red stuff, you need to make them neutral, observe them from above, detach from them, and make them green. So instead of being attached to, oh, I'm afraid to share this, I'm now attached to, I am my true self with everyone without giving us like any fucks. So that is still an attachment, but it's the right one for me. So you need to find the dysfunctional ones, detach, and shift towards the right ones, and find the flow. And whenever you feel yourself feeling negative or unhappy, or some like an obstacle arrives, that is basically a signal, a confirmation that you are not aiming at your flow. So you need to look around yourself at your environment and to observe what dysfunction is present. And the moment you detach, like, that negativity and that like there's no negative situation, it's the perception, the meaning we give it to that makes it negative. So if you manage to detach and reach that state when you're on a holiday, and you can literally do that with anything. I'm still not at that level yet, but that is my flow vision. So that is how you can change your from seeing a distorted reality through a distorted lens, distorted filter, to see neutral reality, which always, like, it has no problems, everything is obvious, it shows you what you need to do, and you get where you want to go and to have what you want, like in the most easy, effortless, and surprising way. But it's all comes down to detaching from everything so you can see the actual flow. And yeah, to give you just one example of an exercise that you can do is whenever again you feel negativity or if you're faced with an obstacle, what you can do is, first of all, you need to wake up, meaning to see your thoughts from above, to disidentify from your thoughts. If you feel negativity, that doesn't mean that you should feel negativity. You need to observe. Basically, you need to have an interview with your thoughts and to rationalize and objectify the situation. And by doing that, you can basically remove the friction, and you can then let go of the control. So if there's an obstacle, you accept it, you remove the bullshit story, the negative story from it, that removes the friction. And if there is an action that you need to take, you take it, but without wasting the additional energy spent on the negative loop of thoughts and bullshit that drains your energy. So wake up. The second thing is you observe everything, which we just discussed, and then you remove the friction and you detach. So you let go. I don't have any space here, but yeah, let's remove society from our beliefs. And then after you've detached, you basically aim at your vision. So once you're free from all the negativity and dysfunction, you go with what's obvious, what's your highest excitement, what your intuition is telling you, and just go for it and align your thoughts and actions. And every time something, like if any negativity, you again wake up, observe, detach, and then aim at your vision. And obviously 5 is action, because if you're not doing any action, that creates a whole different, I wouldn't say attachment, but an unconscious pendulum, where you again end up in this loop where you feel demotivated because you don't see any progress, but you still want to desire something, but you're not taking action, and nothing happens. And with time you start being rude to yourself, and that is again lowering your energy and doing the opposite of going towards your vision. So yeah, this I will probably be making part 2 of this video, because there's a lot of things I could discuss on this topic. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, if this resonated, hit a like, comment below what are your thoughts, or giving some examples of some dysfunctional attachments that you have. And also hit the subscribe button, because now I'm honestly like definitely gonna start making more videos like this. So if you enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, and really enjoy your time watching this video. And yeah, see you next time. Let's go, champ.